Hello everybody, this is Nate. I'm going to be bringing you a game today that's going to focus on three things. Well, a couple different things, but three things overall. So the first is it's going to be kind of AD carry positioning. Our Caitlyn does some things very, very well and other things not quite as well, and as do I. The second thing would be kind of overall split pushing as a team. And the third thing is going to be some individual plays throughout the game that make a nice impact. So I'm going to kind of focus on those very early things, or those things, and speed through the very early game. And we'll go from there. So let's talk about team comps. So they have a Jhin Zillion bot lane. It's surprisingly effective. Zillion can just throw out bombs, Jhin can follow up with his root, and you'll see that a couple different times. He's also got the revive once he hits 6, which comes into play a few times. They have a Katarina mid, bursty, mobile. They have a Shyvana top, who is okay. Once she hits 6, she can be very strong for initiating, but she does not have the best crowd control, and by the best I mean she has none until she hits 6. And then they have a Poppy top. It's very tanky, very disruptive. We have a Thresh Caitlyn. Thresh is my favorite support, and he's pretty good. I like him a lot of crowd control, some team utility, good ult. Caitlyn's very strong for pushing, can be very positional if you're played correctly. Rengar gets an early kill top. So we have a Rengar, who is a good yanker, can be very mobile, surprising amount of damage once he gets rolling, and Plank top, global ultimate, good at split pushing, not a whole lot of crowd control, good in lane. And then we have a Ahri in mid lane, again mobile when she has her ult, good taunt, decent wave push. So that's kind of our team. So let's speed it up again. Let's get to the part where stuff happened. So obviously we talked a couple videos ago about the importance of positioning on AD carries. We talked how AD carries are very high damage but very low health, which means they can do a lot of damage, so they have to be in range to do that, the range of their auto attacks, but they cannot be in range of the enemy crowd control, otherwise they'll just get popped. So those are things that will come into play several different times throughout this game. So we will keep an eye on Kate's positioning. I just derp a thing there. The hitbox for my Q, the death sentence, is often a little bit weird, and it can be tricky to land. But I was just a hopeful one right there. The other thing that we're going to keep an eye on is several rather nice individual plays, or rather, non kind of 5-on-5 team fight decision plays, but just mechanics and so forth. So this is one of the dangers of the Zillion lane. Slow, into double bomb, into root, into grenades. You can do a lot of damage. And it's difficult to avoid as well. So, derping around on top. Kate is very low. He flashes in, managed to flay him back. Flank ult, it's very nice. Q him, cleans up. So Kate, as we talked about, is very low. She should not be here. She should be going back. So she stays around, and we'll see the Jhin go crazy once he gets his auto crit up. Flashes in, Q's instant death, high exhaust, so he knows he's gonna die and then Rengar's here. So if she wanted to stay, she should have just stayed back and let the Rengar come in. She did not do that, so she died, but we end up getting 2 kills in response, and especially 2 kills on a Rengar, which is very important. Rengar is very important in this game. He makes a couple key decisions. So this is the joys of Shyvana ganks. It's like, well, I hope you stay still, because otherwise I got nothing. Speed it up. Oops, wrong button. So Blank and Poppy just farming around. Blank will have an edge at least early until Poppy can start ignoring him. Ahri's got 1 death, sorry, 1 kill, but Cat's up in CF, so it's even on that front. And we're just going run around. So I think this is where the interesting play comes in. So let's set this up. So we have Zilean, who's not level 6. He's most of the way there. We have myself, again, who I am not level 6, but I'm almost there. Caitlyn's getting there. Jhin is level 6. So that's a bit of a problem. So let's see how this ends up. So he's trying to kill this ward. I'm trying to kill it right back. So Zilean will throw down his bombs here, and Caitlyn is getting pushed around by the Jhin. So Jhin starts ulting, so he's got 4 shots to kill her before she runs away. The bomb expires. I hit 6. Caitlyn is not 6. So Kate is not 6. Zilean's not 6. But me and Jhin are. So he misses the first shot. So his ult is more or less nil. So I'm going to hook Zilean in and ult him so he can't move. And again, he's not level 6. He does not have his ultimate. And Jhin just used his, so for all intents and purposes, he doesn't. So he steps in a trap. Kate shoots him once, gets him low. I throw out this to get her in, get Caitlyn in. Zilean tries to run away. Again, he does not have his ultimate, so he can't revive himself and stall. She shoots. I get exhausted, a bit of a misclick there. And her trap hits. So now I almost have my Q up. I'm going to play him backwards, slowing him and repositioning him. Kate's standing in the brush, so she'll get more chance for the headshots. She puts on a trap, so he has to walk forward. He heals, she flashes away, drawing his auto attack to stop, and he gets a double kill. So that went really, really well for us. So I'm gonna play that forward in full speed, and we'll kind of see how that develops. Hope that's in full speed. So again, Hook comes in, keeps Zilean steady, puts on double bombs. I put out the lantern to bring her close. The exhaust misses. It hits. He comes back in, heals, and then misses that first auto attack. And we clean it up. So that's 2 kills for the Caitlyn. So she positioned pretty well. It was a bit tricky. The Jhin whiffing his ultimate completely was rather important. So Rengar is just doing his thing. He's farming really well, probably better than Shyvana, which is important. Shyvana comes bottom. She says, "Hey, okay, you're running. I guess I can't tell you anything." So again, the joys of Shyvana. So we try to pinch her in. Flay her to slow her. She flashes. I thought maybe she had flashed up here. Turns out she didn't. We pursue. Gets caught with the thingy here. Rengar goes in. Gets very close. Kills her, but she's revived by Zilean. Remember we talked about that Zilean ultimate. Caitlyn puts the down. Gets blocked. Misses the little orb of whatever it is. Orb of Deception. And again, so almost a couple kills. But nothing crazy. So we then go head back toward mid, Rengar ult in. Cat's very low, cleans up a kill pretty simply. So Jhin ults to open things up. Shyvana ults in. I remember that I can't actually do that. Kate, I hook her, but then I kind of move her, position her toward the Caitlyn. That's no good. Caitlyn ends up dying. However, I know that Rengar and Ahri are coming in, so I know that I can't do a whole lot of damage here. So I just have to kind of keep them interested. So Shyvana goes down. Rengar gets another kill. So Rengar's 5-0-1. So I have to stop saying so much. If we remember, the points for this game were positioning, some decent individual mechanical plays, and split pushing, and especially the AD carry position. So we get an early dragon. Rengar knows he's dead, but one kill for an early dragon is acceptable. So let's keep going with this. So I am currently 006. I'm currently Trevelyan. Not quite James Bond, but getting there. And we're just kind of digging around. And again, the potential for the double bomb landing and the stun hitting is high. And that into a root, into a potential ultimate, is a distressing possibility. So we're just kind of farming back and forth here. Top is busy not killing each other, as is Poppy's wont. But Ahri does get another kill, which is good. Ahri will have some good taunts. She'll have some good damage. Shiv jumps in, runs forward, but can't crowd control any more than that. Rengar ults in. Just gonna jump in, and pop goes the dragon. Gangplank dies to Poppy. Come in, she gets hit by the double bomb, so I'm going to keep speeding this up. So currently, let's follow this guy. Currently our Caitlyn is 223, she's up in farm, but she eventually do things here. And this is another little fun play that I'll show you here. So again, remember that double bomb into root ploy is very tricky. But Caitlyn gets a little bit too close here, as we'll see. So those bombs go out. She's kind of zoned away down. And now she's just pushing. So she gets hit. She misses the root. Jhin ults. And she doesn't quite do enough damage, and she's stuck in a bad position. I'm able to lantern her out of the Jhin ultimate and get her out. So that worked out really nicely. I certainly didn't foresee the Jhin ultimate happening at precisely that point, but it worked out. We are going to continue to fast forward here. So that is the positioning at its negative. So she's very low. They have pretty high burst damage and good crowd control, so she needs to just kind of not be there. Hits with a double bomb, hits with a root, good grenade, done. Poppy comes in. She can't really kill me at this point. She's gonna smack me around a little bit, and I just ignore her, and we go our separate ways. Plank is continuing to farm. He's got some good farm. Poppy's roaming. Not doing a whole lot at this point, but she is roaming, so give her points for that. Ahri is pushing down mid tower. I'm going to speed it up again. There are points of low action and points of high action, so I'm going to try to speed past the low points. I'm going to come into mid. Can't really do a whole lot. I missed my Q. Rengar ults in. Poppy goes over W. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the strengths of Poppy. I flash in, I probably shouldn't have, but it ends up working out because Poppy dashes me back anyway. I flayed in the wrong direction, threw up my ultimate, Rengar gets booted back, Plank with a nice ult, kind of zone things out, and there you go. Continue onward, pushing down mid, get a tower, get about 3,000 gold lead, which if we were coordinated and knew what we were doing, that'd be really nice. As it is, I don't know that. We don't know that. Neither team knows what's going on. Here we are. They're pushing down bottom. We're going to try to push down mid, however it doesn't really work out at this juncture. Plank gets a nice kill top. which is really helpful in the long run. So again, let's talk about team compositions. What does our team do? Well, we have Rengar, who likes to jump in with an ultimate, pick off squishies. We have Plank, who likes to split push. We have a Caitlyn, who can be very positional minded with her traps, with her jumping out with her net. And we have Ahri, who can pick off people as well. So our team is not really designed to brawl. It's not like we have a Maokai and a Mundo and a Karthus where we just kind of want to wander into fights and throw down our AoE and wander out. We want to pick people off with a Rengar, we want to split push and spread them out with a Plank, we want to keep the Caitlyn safe, and we want the Ahri to go around charming people. So that's our game plan. We want to spread them out and force them to make bad decisions, at least theoretically. It doesn't always work, but that is the theoretical game plan. Now, their team, they have a Poppy, tanky, good for team fights, good for sticking to people. They have a Shyvana, good for team fights, good for sticking to people. They have Zillion, good for reviving. Katarina, good for jumping in, jumping out, doing damage. And Jhin, good for kind of staying in the back line and throwing out grenades. So their team is much more suited for brawling. They got two beefy tanks, and yeah, it's not good. So Caitlyn gets jumped on. She's gonna net him in place. She's gonna Q or net to that and then jump away. So that was really a kind of cute move. That would have been, if she had missed the lantern, she would have been toast. Plank is a bit ambitious with this. Even if we had all been there, it would have been a 3-on-4. So that's not good. It was, I think, foolish play. So let's speed this up. Cat's in the top lane. Rengar's taking the blue for all the mana problems he has. And they're going to take another dragon. Not a whole lot we can do about this. Again, the zone from the bombs is strong. We are progressing into... Yeah. Again, that's the mobility of Cat. I'll show you that. So let's see this. So they get dragon. Just got a little thing. Dashes in. Does damage. Dashes again. Ult. Flashes. Dashes again. Dashes again. Yeah, it gets almost hyperbolic. Rengar jumps in. Plank ult nicely. Nice little cleanup. So again, that little combo, the Plank ultimate, which can be dropped anywhere, the Rengar, which can appear seemingly anywhere, it's really good. Plank is split pushing again, so they're going to send people down again. We talked about this in the last Maokai video with the Nasus, where split pushing is designed to draw the enemy team apart, make them do things they don't want to do. So far it's working. So we're up on kills again. We're up still about steady 3,000 gold. I have 1.5 items. Again, I'm not really looking to do a whole lot besides crowd control. I'm not looking to tank at this point. I'm trying to get to tanky, but yeah, not really gold flush at this point. Clearing out wards. Plank has his Trinity Force, which is the first core item. Rengar's going full damage. He's getting pretty strong. And here we are. To reiterate, the game plan is theoretically Plank splits top, Rengar kind of roams top to mid, picks off people, and the rest of our team stays around Caitlyn. So she gets close again. I managed to scoot her out with the lantern, but then we're a bit split up. This is a bit of an awkward situation. And we'll see Kate getting into awkward situations several times. So I throw down my thing. Kate gets chased out of the fight. Katarina ults, but she's exhausted. I'm hitting her. She's in my ultimate. I flash out so she can't kill me. Ahri, Orb of Deceptions. Plank ults nicely. Kills that. They come back in. I lantern, or try to lantern her away, but he flashes forward and auto kill you. So let's talk about positioning on that one. as this all is set up by Caitlyn in a bad spot. So she's here, which is fine. She doesn't know where anybody else is, but once she sees them coming, she needs to be in a better spot. We are here, Plank's top. That's totally fine, but she goes back in. She sees the ghosts, wants to trap again. Jhin starts ulting. He misses the first shot, so she probably didn't need to take the lantern right there, but with Shyvana that close, can't risk it. We all start to reconvene. We come in. Shyvana sees her opportunity. She ults me, so it's a bit of a bad play, or a misplay rather. Go down the thing, and hook cat in. Play cat in. She starts ulting. She's not doing a whole lot of damage because she's exhausted. Rengar is doing his thing. Still ults back in. Caitlyn is going all the way around. Plank ults. She dies because he flashes in the grenade. Probably not needed. Caitlyn comes back in, but she's so low it's not much of an issue. I missed my Q. And we all kind of go back to our separate ways. So again, Caitlyn managed to survive, but as the game goes on, the potential for her to get caught out rises and rises. So I'm going to speed it up again. I hook him in. Doesn't really matter. We can't kill him safely because she's at such low health. So I go back. Eventually, she farms up. Caitlyn's got great, with the Hurricane especially, got great pushing power. So she's just farming. Zillion's here. Zillion's fun to play, but he revolves around getting that stun and the revive from his ultimate. If those two things don't land, he just might as well not be there. So he's a bit inconsistent. Ghosts come in. Blanket, Poppy are busy slapping each other in the top lane. Rengar's ulting. Oh, I totally missed that. Let's go back. I didn't see that. I think I remember what happened here. So, we don't see Jhin. Jin's coming up now. I don't know where the rest of his team is. She's going to hit the one shot into Root, and she's dead. I put down the lantern. But I think, yeah, I stepped a little bit out of range, so that's a misplay on my part. I don't know if it would have been enough, but either way, it was a misplay. Compounded by the fact that she was out of position. So we got the triumphant duel of almost dying in top lane. She really doesn't have a whole lot of damage, he really doesn't have a whole lot of health, so they're pretty well matched. He has high damage, she has high health, so there you go. Let's speed it back up again. We're still 2,500, 3,000 gold ahead. That's good. But our coordination in this game is not always the best. I'm going to speed it up because there's a lot of ground to cover again. Let's take stock. The Plank now has 2 core items. That's good. Rengar has 2. Ahri has 2. Caitlyn has 2. I have 2. So we're all thoroughly in the mid game. So we want to get a dragon. Or at least theoretically, we want to get a dragon. Shyvana and can do dragon really quickly. As you'll see. So Caitlyn once again is caught out without her team. I run over, I say, what can I do? Spirit her away. Miyazaki would be proud. Ahri's busy hitting this guy in the head. Rengar jumps in. He's got his shield. Spell shield on his fast one's pretty good. She gets caught out of position. Jhin ults. Plank is in a bad position. Flashes out. We come back in. I hook up the Poppy. Nice charm on Zillion. Zillion dies. I ult when I really don't need to. And the Jhin is dying as well. So let's talk about positioning on that one. So here we are. I'm going to slow it down. So they get the dragon. Can't really contest that. She's in a terrible spot. I managed to get her out. So they're kind of strung out here. So we have one of our damage dealers, very low health, out of the fight. Me with her. their tank is there, Jin's there, so their two main carries are here. These two guys, very low damage but decent crowd control, are there. Plank's here. Where's Rengar? Oh, Rengar's right here. Haha. So, here we are. So, Shyvana chases off the... these three actually move toward the Ahri. Rengar jumps in. Kate's still up here, doing not a lot of damage. And it's just a step on a trap, so that's good to get her. Rengar is running off that way. Plank is here, they're very low. They've lost their Katarina. Shyvana's very low, so they can't really present too much of a threat. Zillion ultimate goes off, Zillion goes off, and they die. So, in that fight, I was able to save Caitlyn, again, from being in a bad position. And we were able to clean up, but it's certainly not a guaranteed thing, as you'll see later on. So, keep pushing. So we're going to get a push down a mid. We're going to get this tower. And now we have a pretty big lead. I feel pretty confident. We've gotten an inhib turret down, which is great. Plank still got some good damage, which is great. He's going to continue to scale pretty well. We're going to rotate to try to get this bottom tower. My playstyle is very much a positional map-based one. That get the towers. Once you get the towers, you get the inhibs. When you get the inhibs, you get the other inhibs. You just walk it in. So we get this tower, which is good. Katarina kills Plank in top lane. He stayed around a bit too long. Got a decent push going on. So I'm going to speed it up. Again, the themes: split pushing, AD carry positioning, and decent misplays or good plays. Rengar ults in, he's going to pounce on her, he's going to jump that way, and he just hits her with his knife. Ahri wanders in too close. I throw down the thing, no one gets it. Rengar's okay in these fights as long as he can continue to move. If he ever stops moving, he just dies. So Ahri was a bit of a misposition there. And then Shyvana underestimates his damage. Like I said, Rengar is surprisingly damage heavy. Everyone knows he's an assassin, but it still is difficult to pin him down and kill him. He goes back, I'm going to speed it up. Plank is in the bot lane. Caitlyn is once again flirting with danger, being very close. And the issue is, if they land one crowd control, if they land a slow, all of a sudden the bombs are easier to hit, so that means a stun. I managed to get her out, but it's getting closer and closer. One of the problems facing a team with decent crowd control is that once the first crowd control hits, it becomes more and more easy to land the second and the third and the damage. So the issue is not, oh, they just have a slow. No, it's a slow into a stun, into a root, and so forth and so on. We now have 8,000 gold lead, which is great. I'm going to speed this up a bit. We're going to push down mid. Caitlyn once again is very close to the bombs. She's doing good damage, but she needs to be very careful. So let's speed this up. Dragon's not back for a bit. No, for a minute. They're pushing down mid. Again, they don't have a whole lot of, besides the bombs like that. I'd say that, once again, that was pretty straightforward as to what happened, but I'll show you anyway. So Rengar ults in, he doesn't get much done. And keep your eyes on the Caitlyn, because she wants to do damage. Bomb, bomb, and it's done. She's already dead. Stun into a root, to damage, into an ult. That's it. And I remember saying this to her, that you have to stay back. You can't afford to be that close. It's better as an AD carry to play in a boring fashion and to live than to play in an exciting fashion and die. Because, again, if you die, you can't do damage. So, Plank is bashing away at things. They're all low, but again, because Caitlyn died so quickly, we started off the fight at a disadvantage because Caitlyn was in a bad position. Dragon's up very soon. They're going to push down mid. They're going to get that mid turret. I don't think they get the second turret because, well, they certainly don't get the end, but they might get the second turret. Caitlyn comes in, but she can't afford to get close to their crowd control, so she can kind of push them away, but they decide to back off to a dragon. Again, they're all low. My brain is, okay, well, dragon's up, they're just backing now, so if we rush dragon, we might be able to get it down, which is what happens. So we come in, Rengar's got good damage to the dragon. Boom, it's done. And that's really good, that's an infernal dragon, so that's going to give us damage, which is very good, because we need, as a split pushing in pick-off comp, we need to have high damage. So let's split it up. Plank is continuing to push bottom, Caitlyn's continuing to play forward. I continue to be nervous about that. And here we go. About a 4,000 gold lead. Plank's got a bunch of items. He's got a lot of damage. Everyone's mostly where they need to be on our team. We just need to translate that. Decent charm. Safe through that. Cat's here. I'm trying to just be around the Caitlyn as much as I can. Try to keep her safe. I think another big fight's coming up. So Caitlyn gets way too far forward. Ults come in. I use my Mikhail's on her. Keep her safe. I throw down the little thing there. I move forward to flay people back to ult into a good spot. Poppy is not a whole lot of damage, so I'm just keeping them away. My Mercy hits. Ahri gets a little too far forward. Zilean comes in. The Jhin ult doesn't do a whole lot. Caitlyn's able to stand on the edge of my ultimate and shoot people, which is what she wants to do. Plank ult comes down. Another nice charm. Poppy is getting whittled down, but my goodness, she's tanky. Caitlyn gets back in from Zilean ultimate. Zilean wanders in because reasons, flashes out, and dies. So let's talk about that. So this, if Plank is smart, I don't remember what he does here. He should just continue pushing bottom. He comes in, I flash in. Manage to hook him. So there you go. So let's review that in terms of positioning. I think that is going to be a important way to discuss this. So again, our team, we want to pick one of them off and deal damage quickly and nuke them. Their team just wants to brawl. They want to rush in with their two tanks. They want to have them battle. Katarine can dart in. She can be revived by Zilean. Jhin can just ult from the sides. So let's see how things end up here. So just pushing down mid. I'm getting a little bit tanky. Well, at least tankier than I was. So let's see how this ends up doing. Let's watch Kate's positioning. So she's farming. She's gonna step in too close. Cat's gonna jump in. And we know how the fight ends. But Caitlyn needs to be very careful because that worked then because I was there and our team was there to save her. But if those things are not the case and they get more damage, then all of a sudden that little misstep means a lot more loss. Jin's got great damage, he really does. In that fight we were able to kill him and we ended up with a 2 for 4, which is really good. 2 for 5 actually, so it was an ace. So we're able to get the inhib nice and clean. And then we need to back off because we don't have enough time to do anything much beyond that. They want to do Baron. Again, we have good damage. I think it's risky, but they're just coming back up. So we're going to get Baron without much of a problem. Able to turn a fight into an objective. 2 objectives actually. And that's really good. Again, the default flow in any sort of game should be get kills, get objective, use that objective to get more money, use that money to get more kills and objectives. And every time you win a fight, you have to think, okay, what can I get from this? Alright, we just had an ace mid. What does that mean? Well, we were able to take an inhibitor, and we were able to take a Baron. Now that we have the Baron, our thought process should be, one, plank split pushing, which he's doing, which is great. Use our default pressure in the mid with our super minions to push them down, and we should ideally push top. We want to spread them out as much as we can. Let's see how that goes. So Plank is here, running away from the enemy team. We're going down to him, which we don't really want to do. We want to spread them out, but again, we have a lead, we're feeling confident, and we want to do as much damage as we can. I'm telling my team here, just be as slow as you can, We don't need to rush this. They have a lot of damage still, so we need to be very, very careful. Just kick the Poppy out a little bit. She's incredibly tanky, so we're not going to kill her very quickly. But she ends up dying, which is good. She ends up getting revived. Caitlyn jumps out, Ari jumps out. Caitlyn can stand pretty much wherever she wants. Poppy ult comes in, doesn't do a whole lot. Shyvana ults the air, and we managed to clean that up. So let's review that real quickly. So Poppy gets caught out. We know what happens that. We got our two damage dealers here. Jhin ults in. It's going to do some damage. I ult just to seal this off. Alright, jumps out. She gets hit in the head with the thing. Blocks the shot. Blank is doing good damage, but he's not strong enough to toe-to-toe yet. Rengar ults now. He's going to jump in and kill Zillion, which is good. We want him to be able to pick people off. Catch her with a nice hook. And there we go. So Poppy was out of position a little bit. We were able to have enough damage to knock her down, and they were not able to lock down our carries. So that was a good little fight. So now we're all low. They're down 3 people, but they have a Katarina. So they're not too much of a threat. And we're able to get this turret. Able to get another inhib, so that's 2 inhibs done. That's really good. Katarina jumps in. I missed my Q. Managed to get her anyway. She gets the Ahri, which is unfortunate. But again, the mobility of Cat is rather silly. And we should just back out. We don't have enough to push this through. We have enough to get the turret, which is great, but we can't do that anything more than that, so we just need to back out. And again, the double bombs for the stun. So at this point, if any of those hit, I'm dead. And yeah, at this point, I just accept my fate. There's not much I can do there. No point in flashing, no point in ulting, anything like that. So they get a nice ace, but I would say that's worth it. We got 2 Nexus turrets dead, 2 inhibitors dead, damage on the Nexus. This turret just falls as well, so we're doing really well. But the game's not over. I'm gonna speed it up. Zillion's wandering around warding. Let's review the thought processes for this game. So we talked about split pushing, talked about Plank being able to draw them into different places, spread out their team. We talked about AD carry positioning. We've seen some good examples, we've seen some bad examples. And we talked about mechanical plays. So this ends up being one of the turning points in the game, or at very least a momentous event in the game. So we have passive pressure on 2 of their lanes. I keep telling the team to wait. So we're coming in. Poppy's still in base. Elder Dragon always takes a lot of time. And this, again, she has no business being that close. No need at all to do that. So she throws away. She's dead right out the bat. The enemy team is able to smite the dragon, so they get that. So that was just an awful play. So let's review that debacle. So again, Elder Dragon always takes a long time to kill. So it's a good thing to have, but it's a bad thing to be caught trying to kill. So Caitlyn is way far up. She should be back here, not here. So they're able to clean up. I can't do much. I ult just to lock things down, but it's not a good thing. So Plank is still top. We are 2 people down now, so they're able to chase us in. We don't have a mid inhib turret, they can push down mid rather quickly. Plank can push a little bit top, but Poppy's able to chase him down, so you'll see that chase last for a long time. We can't stop them from doing the inhib. Rengar jumps in and almost gets something done. So they get the inhib. Poppy at the top. A little bit of a wasted ultimate. She's got a GA, which makes her even harder to kill. Rengar does die, and he's able to shoot her, so she does die. Shyvana's off farming jungle. She should be pushing bottom. So that over-positioning there costs us a dragon, costs us mid-inhib, and then trickles down into other areas. So that was a very, very bad positioning mistake. Fortunately, we're still 8,000 gold up, which is huge. So even in bad situations, they're not as bad as they could be. Pushing down mid. Game is getting into late game and end game territory, so it can be very difficult. Plank again heads top, which is what he should be doing. Wants to split them up. There's no person that can really 1v1 him if he's playing smart. Here we are mid. Again, keep an eye on Caitlyn. If she's able, we talked about this in the Maokai video, if the AD carry is able to just sit back and do damage, we will win team fights. If they're not able to do that, we will not win team fights. So Rengar ults in. There's no one here, unfortunately. We still have the two inhibs down. Rengar's just going to wrap around here and be able to get much done. Goodness, that'll last a long time. And he can't afford to stay very close. So here, this is a sort of dream scenario for split pushing, at least to set up. Plank is top, high damage. He's got his ultimate ready to influence a fight. Rengar, another bursty champ, is bottom. Plenty of damage. He does not have his ultimate, but he's got a lot of damage. And the three of us are mid. So I just need to keep them safe and to make sure that no one does anything silly. So ideally, what we do here is just push all three lanes. Don't fight. We don't want to brawl. We don't want to do anything without a solid charm or a hook landing. Just need to use our advantage and go from there. But that's not quite what happens. So they send person top. She's got a nice little setup of traps. She just needs to do damage to the minions. She just needs to do damage to something. Doesn't matter what it is. So Shyvana's going to ult in bottom. Get them. Jhin ults in. So she escapes. Not much I can do there. Poppy gets onto Caitlyn. I try to flay her away. Rengar forces the ult onto the Shyvana. I'm sorry, Shyvana dies. Bazillion right there. That's good. Plank is still pushing top. But now it starts to turn around. So Jhin is able to run forward, get a crit there. Get another crit there. So all that's 2 deaths. So we just need to kill this inhib and back out, because they're going to collapse on us. So get the inhib. We stay. I think we do stay too long. Yeah, we stay way too long. So I try to ult them out a little bit late, play them back. Flash over the wall. She flashes back. So yeah, that was not a good thing. So let's review that. Let's review this happening. Here we are. Again, this will develop into that nice split pushing situation that we talked about, where we're pushing all 3 lanes, 1-3-1, as the LCS casters would say. All we need to do here is we need to just pressure. We don't want to fight. In fact, fighting would be bad. We just need to pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Keep pushing the waves. The waves will do the rest. Keep pushing the waves. But we know how this ends. She jumps in. She manages to get out. I managed to keep her occupied. Still not sure how Dragon died. So what we should do now is these guys need to back off. They can't stay here. In fact, they needed to back off as soon as Shyvana died. Because once Siobhan is dead, then yeah, it was just a missed ult opportunity. So Siobhan is dead, so they just need to back off right now. Let us keep pressuring, let us keep pressuring, but them being here is not accomplishing anything productive. However, that doesn't happen. He's able to get sped up. He runs around auto-critting people. We stay too long, we should just back out now. So we kind of turned a situation which was great and required some finesse into a situation that is just bad. Caitlyn also misses her flash, I believe. Yeah, right there. So, all sorts of bad things happening. So we've got, and they're frantically spamming pings. So I try to distract them as much as I can, but it's pretty awkward. So this is that dreaded feeling in the pit of your stomach when you're doing so well, and then you make those mistakes. So they're going to push mid. After that eighth, that positional error is by us. I think it's game over. Rengar ults in, just scares them off. So we get kind of a fresh lease on life. To review, we want to split push, we want to draw them apart, and we need to be very careful. Yeah, next ace wins, no pressure, exactly. We want to draw them apart, we want them to not be able to brawl, and we need to play carefully, not slowly, but carefully. Sometimes being careful means you gotta play slow. Sometimes it just means you have to be very thoughtful about what you do. There's no need to derp into situations. So let's do a quick review while this is happening. We're up 7,000, which is good. We've had a consistent lead, which has allowed us to squeak out some fights. Caitlyn's positioning continues to be an issue. However, we have an inhib down. Boss responding soon. We have an inhib bear. We have a nexus bear. We have an inhib down. One nexus turret down. So we don't need to fight. We just need to pressure. We don't want to fight. We just need to play slow. Nice and slow. There's plenty of time. There are no time limits in League. Plank is going to continue pushing by himself. The rest of our team is going to rotate bottom, which again is good. We want to draw them out. We want to split them up. We want to make them do things they're not comfortable doing. Again, their team is designed to kind of stay together, just brawl things out, run into fights together, and see who wins. So Plank's going to pressure top, we're going to pressure bottom. Again, mid's pressuring itself, so they're eventually going to have to send someone there. Katarina gets revived, which is unfortunate. We are going to try to push in. But again, they had to send two people top, it's just that we were not able to capitalize. So we just need to back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. So, talking about positioning errors. Caitlyn is separated from the team. Well, she's present, but she's in a bit of an unfortunate position. So she walks up, hits a trap, almost gets knocked up. That would have actually been better. But she needs to just back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. If she's in a spot to be captured. Good. So Shyvana rushes in way too early. We're able to burn him down. And then all of a sudden it's a 4v4 rather than a 5v4. So she gets caught. I managed to use my Mikhails to get her out. She's just shooting, shooting, shooting. She's not doing much damage, but she's staying alive. That's the important thing. I ult to stall things off. And just back out. Again, she got caught by a slam, but I was able to keep her alive. So they have a low inhib, so you want to get that. Poppy jumps in, again a little bit ahead of the team, so we do damage to her. I miss my Q. Caitlyn just needs to stay alive. Just stay alive. We have mid inhibitor, it's got a while left on it. And we have the bottom inhibitor, which is really good. Caitlyn's doing good damage, but she needs to be very careful. Yeah, if she got hit by that, she would have died, I think. But it didn't happen, so it's a point. We have the zip line the Ahri to safety. And again, we can play it nice and slow. We don't have to rush anything, we don't have to force anything. Just going back. We have 7,000 gold lead. We have our Plank on 6 items, Rengar on 6 items. Everyone's on 6 items except for me, which is to be expected as a support. but they're catching up as well. So it's getting to a point where the gold lead is irrelevant. It does not matter. All that matters is levels, itemization, and positioning. Dragon's up in about a minute or so. We had a bad experience in our mouth after that one. And we are going to try to win the game from here. So we're getting set up for top lane. Ahri's lagging a bit behind. Plank is with us. Ideally, well, at this point, it's getting a bit scary with all the things running around. So we're just trying to push down top. Cat darts in, Poppy darts in, gets hit by a charm. Just tanky as anything. So let's talk about this situation. So we're all together. Rengar is close by. They're all together. Bot's pushing for us. This is more or less stimulated. Rengar ults off to try to find someone. And I keep telling my team, play slow, nice and slow. No need to rush. Just want to keep pushing the minion waves. So Rengar's bottom. That ult lasts for roughly 20 minutes. So we're all together here. Rengar is just doodling around bot lane. So he could actually backdoor, which would be amusing. Cat knows something's up though. He jumps in, bonks her, and that's going to be pretty much that. So let's review. We talked about the importance of Rengar, the importance of him getting ahead. He's 19-6, so he's got the ability to just pop anybody. So what that means is that it's basically like having another split pusher. We four can be wherever we want, as long as he's somewhere else and they don't know quite where he is, as you'll see when he ults, then they have to send someone to deal with him. So he's running around being sneaky, and our advantages beforehand, where we got the inhibs and all that, those start adding up now. Ahri lands a charm, ship is pretty tanky, Caitlyn's doing a lot of damage, so he just pops the Katarina. So let's review this. This is a very difficult situation for them because they know they have bot lane pushing for the enemy team, our team. They know that mid is just kind of stuck, so it's a non-issue right now, but the inhibitor's open. And they also know that the Nexus is open. If you lose the Nexus, you lose the game. So they cannot lose this. They could theoretically give up this tower and hope for some sort of miracle comeback, but that's not quite what happens. So, Cat is dawdling around. She knows that she has to protect something, but she's not sure how to do it. He jumps in, pops her immediately, before she can even Zanya's. Shyvana jumps in. Caitlyn nets out to safety and starts just shooting away. They send another person down to fight the Rengar. Jhin ults. Caitlyn gets really good damage off. And again, Shyvana jumps in too early. She was not supported by her team. I was able to keep Caitlyn safe, as we saw in the Maokai Twitch video, as long as the AD carry is attacking to win you the game. So we know that Katarina's dead. What we should do is just push that. Plank dies to Jhin. Jin's got a lot of damage. We're able to get another inhibitor, which is good. So all these advantages are starting to add up. So we're continuing to push. The super minions come in, and we know that we just have to push down top. So we talked about a couple things for this video. Talked about some decent mechanical plays, the Lantern over the bombs for the double kill. We talked about the Rengar getting fed. We talked about the Plank just split pushing continuously. He's not got a great score, but he doesn't need one. He's farmed well, so he's always going to be a persistent threat. So we were able to use our fed Rengar and some nice team fights to get a couple dragons. We use those dragons in some team fights to get some inhibitors. Use those inhibitors to get a Baron or two. We flubbed and almost lost the game on this one here, and managed to respawn in time once they aced us down in mid lane. But we've had a consistent lead throughout the whole game, and we're able to translate that in a messy fashion into winning. So now they always know. I mean, these things will not. These Nexus towers will not go back. So that's always going to be a thorn in their side. So they kind of have to. All right, just jumps in and wins. So we talked about mechanical positioning. We talked about the AD carry positioning in good and bad places. In this last fight, we saw her. Not sure what that button did. Oh, here we go. We saw her able to stay out of their damage, the enemy team's damage. We talked about split pushing, kind of drawing the enemy team apart. So even here, we know that they're trying desperately to clear, so we don't have any particular rush. We could, if we wanted to, just finish this off, but already knows. Okay, that's all I have to do. 1 hit, 2 hit, ult, 3 hit. 1 hit, 2 hit, red hit, blue hit. So that was a fun game. It was certainly not as clean as it could be. I thought I played pretty well. I ended up with a score of 2-4 and 23, so that was fun. We talked about the importance of split pushing. We talked about the importance of mechanical play and positioning. Kate's positioning nearly lost us the game, and our positioning on mid lane almost lost us the game. So there is no point in time in which positioning is not important. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If there's any questions, let me know. If you are liking what I'm putting out, please subscribe, like the videos, comment, etc. If you want to see me play a particular champion, let me know. If you want to see me play a particular game mode, let me know. Plenty more content to come, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.